and you just go join, and then you join the test drive, and then they'll send you email to get you set up and all that stuff. Okay. Once you do that, once you download the software and everything, and you get in there, you go through all the steps to tell you that, you have to accept all the, all the legal stuff and all that. Once you get through all that, you're going to get an app. Is going to take you to a screen where you can actually download the app. Is going to say you can do like mobile, or you can do like window or web view. We just want to do the window, just download it to your computer. Is going to say minimum requirements like Windows 10, or I'm honestly right now running on Windows 8.1, so it doesn't even matter what freaking operating system you're running on. Yeah, my computer's I haven't upgraded since then, but plan on doing it soon. Anyways, you can get this icon here. Just double click it. Trade Ideas is going to pop up. You're going to probably see my all this other stuff that I already loaded on here. So I'm going to go and let me pull this window over here. So basically, this is, so there's that layout. So what I'm going to do here is just go load from cloud. I'm going to give you the links so you can load these. So these are all the pre-market, intraday, pre-market. Sorry. Whoa, hold on. This should be after hours. Probably named two of them twice. So let me just go ahead and load the first one here. And I have those links, and I will share those links right after. And you're going to get these right here. So this just tells you how to do it. And I'm going to actually explain how to pull these up. So for example, if you want to pull this first link up right here, this pre-market one, you're basically just going to copy it. And then you're going to go here, file, load from cloud. And then you're just going to go, it's going to paste automatically.
Yeah, auto paste. I noticed that as well.
But if you want to do, you just load it. And then once you hit load, it's going to load the screen up. Okay, so this is basically the layout that I have on here with those links. So I have two charts.
Something to add because of the because I just loaded what you were saying. This whole thing, which I think is awesome, is that all these windows are very modular. Like they're Snap to, and you can size in different ways. When I loaded your clouds, what are we calling this again? What's the
It's basically a cloud layout. It's saved on the cloud, but it's just
your cloud layout. Yeah. When I uploaded your layout, all these windows, all these tabs were just stacked on top of each other, and
gotcha.
So for anybody who's just doing this, it's not going to look like what Chris has organized with his software. It's going to it'll be all those windows, but they won't be. It's going to be all like that, and you're going to have to put the puzzle together.
Chris will get to the point where, you kind of take the template that these links will give you, and then at that point you can move them around, you customize them a little bit, and then there's actually, I'm sure Chris will walk you through a feature where you can just save the layout. At that point, you would title it, pre-market, intraday, post-market, and then you tweak the layout yourself and then save it as necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm literally saving it right now.
So the way to save it, you just go, it's as easy as you just going to File, Save Layout, and then you're going to get this screen that pops up here. You can save it just save it straight into the desktop here. You can save it to wherever the folder is. By default, it should pick a default location, which is going to be desktop. Documents, Trade Ideas Pro, and then you have your layouts here. Okay, you can just name it whatever you want. So you can go ahead and name it. This one is going to be pre-market, so pre-market layout. If you want to name it that, name it whatever you want. Once you save it, it's going to save on there. So next time you close, let's say I exit this. Let's say I just don't want to save it. I'm just going to close it completely. Next time I load it up, the most recent, it should be the most recent layout. It's a different layout now. But you can set it up to the most default, the most recent. You can set that up that way too. But you can just go in here and just pop up the whatever layout you want, whatever you loaded. So that's how you upload these. So you just go File, Save, File, Load from Cloud. You pick the layout. Just these links right here. You're just going to copy each one of these links, and I put a how-to right here underneath, and you're just going to go and paste it right here, and I hit load. So if I do, for example, intraday, and I go here and I paste that here, and I hit load, it's going to load up this specific layout. with the chart. The charts already have the indicators and everything on there, and you're gonna have like momentum scan. I'll go into details on what all these are, because it looks like it's a lot, but and especially when you're trading, it's going to look like there's a lot of stuff going on at once. This scanner, I'll get into details later, is going to annoy you. So sometimes I kind of just mute my audio on my computer, because she will name each one of these tickers out, and there's like hundreds of them coming out at the same time. So it'll just get like grill, PI, it just goes nuts. So just save yourself some time and just mute it. Or you can go here and you could probably take it. Let me see. There's a way to clear the audio. You could just clear the audio from there if you want. So let me go into pre-market. Let me load up the pre-market layout here. So low layout, pre-market. Okay. So this is the pre-market layout. So you have your gappers, and this basically searches for what's moving on volume, what's the the gap percentage, and price. Like you're gonna look at your price, gap percentage. I mean, we'll really look at. This is not a tutorial how to teach people how to trade or anything, but this is just getting you guys set up. You're gonna look at the gap percentage. You're gonna look at the volume. You're gonna look at your gap. If you're interested in seeing things that fell down, that can bounce up pre-market. Usually, what I do, just stick to the gap, the things that are gapping up, and this is gonna be your best indicator here. This pre-market mover is a really good one, because it's gonna tell you exactly what's going up. Since we're doing this after markets close, you're not seeing a lot of things going on, obviously, but you'll see like moving pre-market, high volume, market highs, and these are all set up already, so you don't really have to do anything on the back end. You can customize these however you want. Like if you really wanted to add another, let's say a chart or something to this, you can just literally just go here, you go to new, you go to chart window, and it'll pop up another chart window if you want. So you can kind of, like Steven basically said, it's all modular. You can move these things around, you can add charts, you can take charts down, you can set it up, customize it however you want. So let me go and do.
Which I think, honestly, for some people, obviously we're going to go through these three things that you want to set up, but for some people who don't know how they want to customize it, that's what I think the channel bar is really helpful with.
Mm-hmm.
You're really new to it. You can go into the channel bar, find a scan that you like that's being used on one of these popular scans. Like for instance, there's a pre-market channel bar, like a preset channel bar. It's the one that looks like a sunrise over the city.
Where is it? Right here.
There you go. And like there are aspects of that channel that you can actually just right click and save as I can't remember, Chris, and I might be in over my head here.
Go on.
You can save these as independent windows and then load them into your own.
You can. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you can piecemeal stuff that you like out of these channels and put them into your own custom setup. It's very easy to just copy them and move them over.
Exactly. And that's something I did. I liked what the gappers, this gap up and, okay. Yeah. And I can show you where I got that one from, and I'll show you right now how to import that. So I'm just going to go to channel bars. Like Steven said, you're going to find stuff in here. You're like, wow, that one's really useful. I want to, I like that one. So I found it here under trade a gap. And this is the one right here. It says gap up and. So the way you grab this one, like say you just want this specific one here, you have to right click and you have to go to collaborate all. When you go to collaborate all, it's going to give you a link. It's going to give you a link to everything that's on here. So each one of these, this one that's saying gap up and crap, gap up and go, gap up, gap down and go. All these are actually individual links here. Like they're all individual links. Look, you see the string here. Like individual meaning like it's just telling you like these are, see, show D symbol, da da da. You don't even have to worry about any of the technical side of it. Okay, you basically just have to just go here, copy this link here. Let's close this window here. Let me go ahead and open up my window that I had. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to open up the layout. Just open up your layout that you had before. And I'm just going to go to intraday 2 because I made 2 different ones for this tutorial. So I'm going to use this intraday 2 one. And let's say I wanted a let's say I wanted a gap up and go. Let's say I wanted that layout, right? So what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to duplicate this momentum scanner here. It's going to pop up another window. I'm going to hit, yep, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to go collaborate all, and I'm going to say paste all. Okay. Now this turned into a gap up and go scanner, and you can just rename this afterwards. So window name, gap up, and there you go. You have your gap up window on the other one here. So if just like Steven said, if there's anything that you like from these other channels, like squeeze activity, you need a short squeeze, squeeze me. So find a layout you like. I like the gap up, and just to see what's gapping up, I'm just going to do it real quick again. This is how I did. I just did collaborate all. Click on the window, collaborate all. There's your link. It's going to select everything. You just Control C or copy all. Once you copy all, you load your layout. Pick your chart there. I just do a random one. I just literally just go duplicate. I'm going to duplicate this one here. So right click, duplicate. And then I'm just going to go collaborate all and then paste all. And then it turns into this one. Basically the gap up and then you just go here and change the window name and whatnot. So gap.
So you're just basically just duplicating a window and then pasting the link.
Exactly.
And it just populates it exactly.
Yeah. So that's useful. Like really useful. So go ahead and you guys can experiment, look at stuff you like. So what comes with there's the basic. I said there was a basic one and then there's a premium one. This free trial, this 2-week until November 22nd, you have to sign up before November 20th, because I'm sure they take 2 days to just, I guess, maybe kick people off or whatever it is, or just see who's signed up for it and do other stuff. But basically, you have until November 20th to sign up for it, and then you have until the 22nd until it expires, basically. So you have your premium pricing. So what the premium comes with is this Holly AI, and this basically just tells you how this AI did. So for example, this $8.43, you see it $154, and then they have conservative, moderate. You have conservative. If you let me just click on Holly 2.0. Let's use this one, the one that just went to 154. So this just shows you how aggressive this portfolio is. So basically, if you were to follow exactly what the AI is doing, then you would have made money on this. Sometimes it's not always right though. Like the AI runs on algorithms and it's looking at things and looking at patterns. It's however they programmed it to do. So you can go ahead and select through aggressive. You see aggressive and aggressive and moderate are basically the same there. But conservative is a little more just on the defensive side. There's videos and stuff on how, I'm not going to go into details on how this works, how to set this up and how to know and how to get in and out. There's videos online on it. Trade Ideas has lots of videos on YouTube that you can watch on how their AI works. But I just wanted to show you this channel bar, just, taking things and pulling things into your chart and really customizing your own layout. Because you don't want to just, use something that they have. I mean, you could definitely just use something that they have. I mean, there's not an issue about, at all, but you're going to want, and in the end, in the long run, you're going to want something that's for you, that, you're going to like little bits and pieces of things that you like. I want to see this. I want to see this. Maybe on this watch list. Maybe I want to see, Barry's watch list going down or Barry's watch list going up or repeating. So yeah. So this is, like I said, it's really useful, and I really do like how all these are just pieces. They're just individual little windows that you can just customize however you want. It does get a little hectic because there's a lot of things going on at once. It's going to look like it is, but just focus on the links I gave you. These are going to be probably the easiest to understand. So if I was to do this after hours one here, let me go ahead and copy this one. I don't think I've showed you guys this one yet. So I'm going to go here. I copy that. I'm going to go to load from cloud. It already pasted automatically there. I'm just going to hit load. And this is the after hours list I have here. So you have post market movers. You're probably not going to see any here because the market is not open right now. It might populate maybe to 1 or 2 later, but you probably won't see anything. I've got 2 charts set up on mine. I got the VWAP, 50 SMA, 200. I got all of them set up here. Volume, RSI. Oh, there's one. So, and here's the best part. This is what I like. And this is just something just me personally that I just like. Whenever you click on one of these, you get the chart instantly. Like, let's say you want to see this, boom, instant chart. Like, you see exactly what's going on. So I think that's really useful. I really do like that. I mean, I know you can do this basically almost the same thing on Thinkorswim, but there's so much more you can do on this. It's just crazy.
So Chris, there's something cool you can do with that click on feature that you're just talking about.
Yeah.
If you go to one of your either one of those charts, right click it, go to properties, and you'll see a selection called symbol linking, and it's checked now, which means that when you click on that ticker, that chart is linked to the ticker that you've selected. If you deselect that, for instance, if you want a chart that's looking at one stock and then another chart that automatically pulls up, you can take the linking off, and that will be its own independent chart. So you notice now not flowing together. Obviously, if you want to see something in like several different time frames, the same stock, and this is beautiful. You want to keep it linked to that. When you click on something, you want to keep that symbol linking activated. But if you want an extra chart, to look at something else entirely that you're not selecting, then that's how to do it. You basically just want to unlink. And that's a good point too. Like, I don't know if you create a new chart right now, like make a new chart right now.
Yeah.
Like a new chart window. It most likely will automatically let's see, go to the properties and see if it's auto linked or not.
Yeah, it's auto linked.
So the next time you click, everything will update. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing when you do that, you just strip all of your other charts and stuff. So you're going to have to go in there and set your indicators. And that's the next thing I was going to go into and setting that up. So let me just go ahead and go through that real quick. All right. So for example, here, let's say I wanted to add an indicator to this. You see, I have have my 200, I have my 50, I have my VWAP. You want to go to just the indicators here. You see, I have volume, RSI. It's really as simple as that. If say I want my volume, I'm going to go here, click volume. New chart area. I don't like my volume. This is just me. This is just a personal thing. I don't like my volume showing up on my actual chart. I know some people have it that way. I just like my volume separate. That's just me. Like, just the way I do it. But you can have that volume show up on your chart if you like. But
yeah,
I just go here and go to new chart area. You go to add, and you see this is now your volume is showing up here. And you can actually make this smaller if you want. So you go here.
I like it that way too, because sometimes the volume interferes with the bar action.
Exactly. Yep. So I'm going to go here to indicators again. And if you want to set your VWAP, you want to set your 50 SMA, you can, or your 20 SMA, you can do. So let's just say I wanted the 20. You can modify the color, whatever color shows up. Let's say I wanted to set it to blue. There's up and down colors and a gradient. I just usually just set it to just this one color here. So I'm going to set it to just that blue color here, but you can go ahead and set it to more. There's different colors. You can do a custom color too. So you just hit OK. I'm just going to say blue. I'm going to hit OK on here again. I'm going to say add, and you see your SMA there, your 50 SMA. Okay, and you can zoom in. So if you hold like Control and you scroll in with your mouse wheel, in and out like that, you scroll in and out. And if you just stay on the chart and you scroll like back on your mouse wheel, you just scroll back that way. Okay, and like it's the same thing for all the other ones too. So I want to go back to indicators here. Let's say I want my RSI. You can just set it. I'm literally just going to set it up just to set it up. So let's say I want to do exactly by default whatever they have here. If that's what you want, you can literally set it up however you want. And then this you can make this smaller, this window smaller. You see there'll be like a little crosshair thing here. So you can make this smaller and then make this one smaller too. So it doesn't interfere, it doesn't get in your way. Yeah, so. Okay, so that's the basics on adding thing in a
sorry.
chart. So unless
Can
you have
we
something
add one
else
more
good.
thing?
Go ahead. Yep.
Okay, on same where you're at right now, properties, and show crosshairs.
Right.
This is awesome. So now scrub over. Now you can get the exact price when you're trying to mark levels.
Oh yeah.
It just helps, like,
good point
helps
there.
with the
Yep,
accuracy.
that's perfect. Yep, that's good. And you can also draw. You can also draw lines if you really wanted to. Like if you wanted to draw anything, you wanted to test some levels or whatnot, you can do that too. So
Right.
yeah, it's I mean it's neat. It's you literally got all the tools here, and it's all there, which is great. So you can also trade on this too, but I've never done it. You just got to link your brokerage account to it, but I just trade on another window or on mobile. That's how I do it. So I just use this just to give me more eyes on the market, and so
Right.
So that's what did I just go through right now? This is after hours. Okay. And I'll give you these links. I'll put them together and all that stuff. So then you'll be able to just to quickly upload that stuff. You can go into more details on some of these. Let's say I wanted to like change or I wanted to add or anything else. You can literally do that. There's an action. I mean, you can literally add like sounds to it, which is going to be that the intraday one, the one I was talking about. That one's just that one. You should probably just mute that or just turn the sounds off because it just gets crazy. Like it's okay pre-market, but during the day, your ears are just going to explode. It's just nuts. You have like you see these symbols here. You have a multi-strategy window. You have a top list window, an alert window. Basically, all these windows are different. They do different things. Alert windows are obviously, they're going to give you alerts. So like the one that screams at you, that tells you things are going on, things are moving. Those are basically tell you like what's going on, and you can set it. You can basically set it to refresh every minute or every 30 seconds or whatever, basically whatever you want. And you can change the exchanges here. So like this would be NASDAQ. I don't do Pink Sheet. I'm not gonna do a tutorial on any of that right now. But you can literally change it to any of these. Just I have them all four of these checkers on JOTCs on here. So, and then there's like a 52-week high. You can add this alert. Once you add the alert, you can just set a price or set a range, like a day, a week.
Yeah, there's important to go back to that select alerts really quick. It's important to know that the way that you see this set up right now, with new highs selected at this particular alert that Chris is showing, that is going to, if you leave it as is, just like this with that days field empty, it's basically going to track the intraday new high. That's it.
Okay. Yep.
You want to look further back in time and set an alert for, say, like a new high that was made in the last 20 days. You can obviously do that here, but that's the difference. Is this is your opportunity to look into a deeper time frame if you want, but just know if you type in a number of days there, you're not going to be looking at the new high if you're trying to use this for day trading. If you're day trading, you really want to keep that field empty.
Yep. And like you can go in and customize your own thing, but the links I put together, like those are going to be good enough for you to just get rolling. Like that's it's good enough to see what's moving, what's got momentum, and what's gapping up, what's got volume spike in the last minute or so, or the last 30 seconds or last 10 seconds. What's moving now. So what's making new highs. Like I said, if the market was open, you would see you would see a lot of this stuff happening. Like you'll see a lot of these things happening. Like you see like price crossed above VWAP, confirmed by volume. Like if I go here, obviously you'll see like some of these charts, and you're gonna get a whole list. You can just scroll down. The list will just keep going on. It will go on forever. That's what it feel like. But this gap up one is, I actually do like it, because it'll tell you like gap up and go, meaning like it's it's got a lot of volume and it's running, and you're gonna, once you see it like constantly come up, it's like, wow, this is still going. So for example, like when like for this one, when this one said gap up and go, let's see, I think let's see when it happened at 15, so 1597, gap up and go, like pre, and then it went up here. Then this is where it gapped up again, and then it dropped, and it kept doing it. So 1, 2, 3, red candle, dipped, and then continuation above the 50. So this is a good indicator. It just basically just tells you what's moving, like now. It's a really good alert indicator there. This dip buy scanner, it actually worked okay. There was a stock, I forget the name of it. It was like, it dropped to 55 cents from like 68. And from there it said, hey, this is low. It's a low float. All these, by the way, these are all low floats, by the way. So that's what we were looking for. So this is all set up that way. So it basically said low float, dip catch, or dropping fast. Like it said this first, dropping fast, and then it said low float dip catch. And what that means is, if you see this right here, this is exactly where it alerted. It said, hey, I'm dipping. You might want to catch me here, and look what happened afterwards. So this is just an example of like the alerts you get from this. So this blue area right here, that's where it dipped. That's where it went up.
What box was that? The low float multi-strategy or no?
This one right here, the dip buy scanner.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I got that one.
So this one's great to find.
They have that something similar for the after hours I found helpful today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta load the layout to see exactly what it's called. But there was one where there, something spiking, 4 or 5%. It'll say, in the last 25 seconds, it went up 5%. Yep. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yep.
I found that one helpful.
Yeah. So this is actually a really good example. I'm pretty glad. I'm glad that this one stayed from after markets closed. But this is a really good example of one that just literally dipped and said, "Hey, catch me here," and that's exactly, if you would have done that, you would have been up a good 15 cents here.
It's like an Arbor Pharmaceuticals. Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, at the worst,
I know
15 cents.
Yeah. Yep. There.
Well, Chris, can I ask you something? There are a couple really good trades that went off today in the group. Mm-hmm. But you were on top of a couple with trade ideas this morning. Do you remember, based on this because we're looking at intraday right now.
Yeah.
Based on this intraday setup, do you remember what kind of like really cued you off? Can you recall like one of the trades and like maybe what was the cue? Like which one of these? I know it's so much information. It's like I'm not really sure what to look at first almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's kind of like what's the process?
So lately for me, and here's the thing, lately for me, it's been anything before 7:30 and after, like just after 7:30 is the perfect time to buy. And this is just the way it's been. So I'm going to give you an example right here. So this is FTEK. Okay. At 7 o'clock, we're at 120. 7 o'clock at 120. This is just, like I said, this is just me. I always go with it's either before or it's going to be after. Okay. So when I sold this gap up, I wasn't going to trade until after 7 o'clock. I was like, I'm not interested until I see some volume come in and stuff. So I want to see who's trading it. It didn't have a lot of volume at the time. I think it only had it was like maybe not even 100K volume at that time. So, but once it gapped up once it gapped up to that range there, I literally it popped up, like it literally popped up, said, hey, this is moving on my pre-market. I'm not loading, this is the intraday, but when I was loading when I load a pre-market, you'll see it'll say there's the pre-market movers. And it popped up right there. And that's what gave me my alert saying, hey, this went up. So what I ended up doing was just waiting. It's just like I said, this is just like a thing that I just noticed. A lot of these runners are gonna run again after they hit their low. Like once they come off the bottom at like around 7:30, which is crazy because this is exactly what happened. And I've said it a few times in the room. Hey, when these things, like when they gap up and they dip after 7 o'clock, like once around 7:30, they're going to keep running. And that's exactly what this one did. Like you see, like it gapped up again, and then it just consolidated. It rode, you know, the 250 VWAP. It tested VWAP so many times, and that alone was just the indicator for me right here. This point right here, this 200, the 200 SMA hit was where I'm like, okay, it tested this, and it broke over. I bought two times. I bought 110. I bought around this range here. It was like 9 o'clock. Actually, I think it was like before that. I think it was like 8:55 when I saw these three candles coming up. So when it went above the VWAP again, I bought right here. It was like 110, and then it went up to 116. I didn't sell. I held it. And then I knew it was going to go down. It's going to consolidate. I was like, okay, I literally said to myself, I'm going to stop out at 105. It didn't hit. Like I stopped, like I filled half my order at 105, but I kept the rest of it in. What I basically wanted to do is just keep holding, just to see if this was going to continue, and it did. I mean, it literally tested off the 200. It broke off. It broke out of, it tested the VWAP. It broke out of it and consolidated and then after the market opened, it just literally just blew up. So you got your continuation, then a down candle, then 3 up, then down, then 3 up. It was literally just flagging all morning, and that just gave me a sign. It's like, hey, this is gonna go. And usually when they test, and this is just something I've seen. Usually when they test like the high, I just kind of just like make a line and say, okay, so it needs to get over this again. Okay, and then when did it fall? Like where did it drop down to? So around, what's this right here? 167. So it's done it it's done it a couple times there. So that's just a clear line, and it's about VWAP too. So it did come close to test it, but it never did. So and then afterwards just kept going. So what I usually do when I'm looking at this, and this is what kind of gave me a thing, I look at these candles here, like just go green, green, red, green, green, red, green, green, green. Once I see when I see like it's peaking, like you see it tested $2 multiple times. That's the third time it tested $2. It couldn't break that. That's my signal just to get out. Like when something tests 3 times like that, just like me, it's just a personal thing. I just know, just like, nah, it's not gonna break. Okay, and then it didn't until I think later on. I think it went. Actually, no, I actually just kept going. I didn't watch this afterwards. I think I was literally done.
It just faded the whole day. I watched it the whole day.
I was literally done in the morning. Like this is between 9:30 and like 10:30, 11. That's where you're gonna get. This is where your volume is gonna come in, and this is the time where you trade. This is basically it, because you look at the rest of the day, is all just fades out. So this is usually where I trade.
I agree too. Like the early, the morning out. I mean, obviously most people know this if they're active traders, but like that's where the volatility and volume is. But remember the other day yesterday we were talking about a stock. I wasn't in it, you were, and we were like, let's test trade ideas against like what I think is going to happen, and I lost like 3 times in a row. What were you using?
What was that?
You were looking at something very specifically to determine your position that had nothing. I understand what you're describing about your chart scenario and what you like to look for levels of respect, but you were using something yesterday that was one of these windows, these automatic
Yeah, it was actually the Holly.
Was it?
The Holly AI I was telling, yeah. I literally just loaded up. I loaded that into the system. I just gave it the ticker and it was telling me like, don't sell. And also looking at this one here, does gap up, and if it doesn't say like gap up and crap or gap up and down, like if it doesn't say that, it just means you're good. Like don't sell. You're actually doing pretty good.
So
And
gap up and is your best indicator for like continuation. If you see it marked green, it's gap up and it's also marked for continuation.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll say like gap up and go is what it'll say, and you'll see it come up like multiple times. And that's where I was like, no, I'm holding this. Like we said a few times in the chat. When I saw this, it literally told me like, this and the Holly AI. If you just load up the ticker there, it literally just said, it literally just basically telling me not to sell. Because there was no indicator of it going down any, because it had the volume, it had low float, it literally checked all the boxes is all it did. And that's exactly what the system this is what the system was programmed to do.
Is it operating? What time frame is this operating in right now?
This one here?
Yeah.
It's active. It's like literally like every 5 seconds.
Like just, or like every constant scan.
Yeah, it's just constantly scanning. It's like maybe even, I think it's like every second. It's like every second.
You said this morning, Chris, is actually a question I wanted to ask you. You said it's on a delay or something. If you put it on real time, it would slow the machine down or something you were saying in the chat. But
yeah,
where's the adjustment to make to go to real time?
Yeah, you can go. You have to go into it's in the properties. I'll go through it. Yeah, but you want it for a specific window. You want it for, let's say, this momentum scanner. I want this one specifically to do, every second.
Yeah, like preferably in the pre-market layout, I would want the up gappers to be instantaneous.
Yeah, you don't want any delays on that. So like it's set up because there's so many things running at the same time. So it doesn't want, it's just basically to avoid your machine from blowing up or you just lagging out. And you can see your ping and stuff on here too. So if you bring this down, you can see how fast your thing is running. Again, just to summarize, there's everything you need, all in your face, all the time.
That's what they should have named the software.
I mean, basically.
All in your face. Here's the one thing that you were talking about earlier, Eric, which is that you're not routing your brokerage through this to trade through Trade Ideas yet, and to the point of if I were to like have my ideal setup, it would obviously take a while to like figure out what I liked out of all this. Although this is like a really great start. You can modularly, and I think Eric, I saw you doing this earlier. You can just split the windows to either side of your monitor and just have the specific feeds that you want from Trade Ideas. And then you could even keep, like, for instance, Thinkorswim up in the middle and then just
That's what I have, yeah. I mean, I pretty much just piecemealed this out, to the left and right of my screen. I have Thinkorswim right in the middle, where I have even more charting capability right in the middle on top of this.
Yeah.
And that's it. I really just want to look at the gappers and those pre-market movers, down gappers, up gappers, pre-market. And then on the intraday, the dip buy is kind of nice. And just the general momentum scan is cool. But, then I'm looking at Thinkorswim right in the middle. And the way I have Thinkorswim set up is I'm running, 6 tiles on the bottom. And then I have one main chart that goes across the top. So anything I'm looking at on like a 1 minute chart, I'll just drag it into the bigger window pane in Thinkorswim. But generally, like, I don't really want to look at more than a half a dozen things at any given time anyway. Right. Like, I'm not the type of guy that's trading 12 stocks in a day. Like, I only need like 2 or 3. So if I'm looking at 7 altogether, including, the main and then kind of like the 6 below that I'm kind of just like monitoring, that's all I need,
We should preface too that Eric has like a massive 32-inch curved.
It's 34.
Oh.
I need another one though. Chris is Chris is making me jealous.
Hey, Black Friday's around the corner. I'm sure you
Chris,
can get a great deal.
I don't know if you guys know this. This is a fun fact. He's actually controlling aircraft as well for takeoff and landing.
all from my machine. Yeah.
Yeah, as he's trained.
There's one thing in channels that I want to mention that we've kind of been like trying to figure out how to track, social media sentiment. Where is the social media button in there, man? It's in there. It's the bird. It's the tweet. It's the Twitter bird. Yep. There are a couple bullish sentiment, bearish sentiment scanners in here that once again, however you want to copy it over, those I think could be very valuable, particularly if you can cross-reference bullish or bearish sentiment across Twitter and StockTwits live with these other gap scanners, and like the ones that have heavy volume and sentiment, and there's a lot of information there that I think is super valuable. So you can connect all the dots I think can come together, and you can find these consistencies. Like in if you see a stock that's in your gap up and go list, and then you look over at your social media sentiment and it's hot, and we all sitting here know and are following people on Twitter that once those tweets start to blow up, that's when the sheep pour in, and that's when the move really starts to take shape. So I think that's gonna be a valuable tool for us once we learn how to just read it effectively. Yeah. It's just new to me. This is a totally new tool to me, but I think it's super valuable data.
This is really interesting. The stock with Twix activity.
Yeah.
the bullshit scanner.
Well, we all know here, the more people that are talking about it,
yep,
the more it's going to pump. So
exactly. Yep. That's a great point.
And the harder it's going to dump, depending on which way you're looking at it. So
that's why pretty much anybody I follow on Twitter, at least on my phone, I have alerts set up for every single person. So I want to see just in real time every single person who's tweeting that's relevant.
Oh, Chris, speaking of alerts, it's just like, I don't know, did we go through this already? If you just right click the chart, like wherever your position is on the chart at that moment, where you right click, that's going to be where you mark. If you do go to markup, and you can set right above it, create price alert at the very top. And it'll literally just set up an alert window for you. You can customize it right there. You can add a note for yourself, and boom, you're done. So the alerts are pretty easy to set here. Similar to Thinkorswim.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of this, I feel like, even when you talk about the scrolling mouse, to manipulate the chart, it's very similar to Thinkorswim in that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no.
How do you change the time frame on the chart again? I can't remember how to do that.
You just go right click time frame.
Yeah.
Oh, that easy? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. And it's individual for each one. You can change it differently.
What are you guys trading on mostly? A 5 minute?
Yeah, I do minute, 5 minute. I get really tight because I'm day trading. I want to see it move. Like I want to see things going on the go. I want to look at every little thing. If I do like a day, I'm doing like 30-minute and stuff, looking at if I'm trying to swing or something. But I'm literally just looking at day. I'm looking at 1 minute, 5 minute. Do you look at anything other than that, Stephen?
Well, obviously, we all three of us are different with our styles for sure. If I am day trading, or really if I'm just trying to like hone in on what I feel like is the best price in that moment, I just do 135.
Yeah.
But I always have the day pulled up. I think it's important to always have the daily pulled up, just so you keep yourself in check and in perspective.
Yeah, well, you were saying earlier in the chart too, I think it's important, if we're recording, you might as well say it, that, don't day trade a swing trade and don't swing trade a day trade.
Right.
I think that was a really good point you made today.
Yeah. So if you're going in, say Chris is going in on a 5 minute, he makes a determination that the trade is, ready. He's ready to purchase it on the 5 minute. Then he needs to like determine what his exit plan is going to be based on that same chart.
Exactly.
If you start flipping through time periods after you make your entry, then the discipline of your execution is completely compromised. Like you're just changing your vision completely, and then going back to it, and then that basically just the psychology becomes like, well, this looks good on this time frame though, so I'm going to hold it a little bit longer. When the agreement with yourself should have been like, I was going to cut it 2 or 3% on the 5 minute, and now I'm on the 15 minute, and I'm crossing my fingers, and I'm down 15%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I've fallen into that trap too many times. It's definitely worth saying.
Yeah, and it's like, and it doesn't hurt. Like if you need to cut losses at 10%, it doesn't mean you can't just get in again. If it looks good, you can get in again and recoup your money. If volume comes off or something comes out like bad news or something, I'd rather protect my portfolio and lose 10% than be down 30% and hold a bag. It's just like, you don't want to go through that, just about that mental state. And then we all have been there. We all lost money before. It's just, it doesn't feel great.
And when you let it ride like that, you're not in a position of power anymore. You're only in a position of power when you have cash, and you guys say it every day, in out cash after you're done with your trade. So, but true, like that's when you're in a position of power.
Yep, exactly.
All right, guys, I'm going to end it right here. There is still so much to cover using the software, but I plan on making more in the future covering the other parts. The other videos won't be as lengthy, just so you guys can digest small parts of the software, since there's just so much to do. Anyways, I hope the video helped you in any way, and if you have any questions, just reach out to us and we'll answer any questions you may have. Alright guys, good luck and take care.